It's a small table the U.S. hopes will soon have more seats.
Those of us on the Security Council have a duty to do more, to do better.
Russia, China, the U.S., Britain, and France are the 5 permanent members of the United Nations Security Council with veto powers. Pushing a plan for reform, the Biden administration is floating adding 6 more permanent members to the inner circle without granting those nations veto powers. There's mounting public pressure for change amid the current council's failure to respond to global crises, including Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
You can't really expect the Security Council to handle the Ukraine war very well when the main aggressor in that war is a permanent member with a veto, which does then lead to the question of, do we even want to keep this mechanism around?
Foreign policy fellow Michael O'Hanlon says it's a smart political play for Biden to attempt modernization, but it won't be easy. The lack of vetoes isn't the only issue. Which countries would get to join could be contentious. India, with its 1.4 billion people, would be a natural. That might anger rival Pakistan. In the developing world, particularly Africa, there could be infighting over which country should get a spot. The current council has 15 member nations, 10 of which are non-permanent. Past campaigns for those temporary seats have seen intense diplomatic jockeying. Canada lost its most recent bid.
We don't compete well. We don't invest in it. It also means our chances are nil.
Ottawa University professor John Packer, who worked for the UN in the 80s and 90s, says he thinks the chances for change as a whole are just as dire.
You can only change these things like that according to the charter itself. And so there are certain elements you can't change. You can't really change the veto power of the 5 unless they individually would surrender it, which they're not going to do.
Failure to respond and adapt to our ever-changing world could put the council's credibility and entire purpose into question. Jamie Maraucher, Global News.